very appropriate song to sing in Clonmel for poor old Willie Brennan. He was hanged here. You know, Willie was also a bit of a politician. Like all good politicians, he robbed the rich, robbed the poor, kept the whole damn lot for himself. Over here we have Bobby Clancy station in front. And you may have it. And last but most, I'm Clancy. We know that you know most of these songs tonight. Do sing along with them. As Bobby always says, you're not Turks. I know you're not Turks. You're all from Harry. But here's some lovely little songs that you can join in the chorus, especially this first one. Warm you up. It's called Whistling Gypsy.
lovey-dovey kind of songs are always got a couple in their teens or their early 20s, you know. There's very few songs about the same couple 50 years later when they've learned everything about each other. There was one old couple supposedly lived in one of the lonely valleys in the Common Mountains. Very seldom went into town, self-sufficient, grew their own spots and everything. But about once or twice a year, the husband would go to the fair down Garland, and he was at a fair, and when he finished selling his cows in the old days, He went around to those stalls they used to have at fairs, you know, where they had all these trinkets being sold. And he found something that he'd never seen before in his life. And it was a small hand mirror, on these little round hand mirrors. He took one look at it, he said, "Mother of God, there's a picture of my father." He decided he had to buy it and bring it home to the wife. He went back in the horse and car up to the mountains. But on the way, he remembered he couldn't show this to his wife because the father, when he was alive, never got along with his wife. So he decided to hide it. When he got home, she took one look at him. And matrimony being the institution it is, she knew he had a secret immediately. And she thought it was another woman he might have met in Dungar. He hid the mirror under the mattress. When he was out working in the fields the next day, she went prowling around looking for evidence. Found the mirror, took one look in it, said, "I knew it was another woman." And a nothing of an old bitch she is. Another real old Irish lovey-dovey song from the County Wexford on the same subject. In this case, she tries to get rid of her husband by first making him blind, and then when he can't see what's happening, she tries to drown him. The song is The Old Woman from Wexford. There was an old woman in Wexford town and well. She loved her husband dearly, but another man twice as well. All right, one day she went to the doctor, some medicine for to find. Said, "Doctor, give me something that will make my husband blind." He said, "Feed him eggs and bones and make him suck them all. It won't be so very long after that he won't see you at all." Eggs and bones and made him suck them all. It wasn't so very long after that he couldn't see the wall. Says he, "I'd go and drown myself, but that might be a sin." Says she, "I'd go to the wall, but said you had to push it in." The old woman, she went back to get her run and go. The old man left his life aside and she went in below. Oh, how loudly did she roar, and how loudly did she bawl, and how the push to the wall says he, "I can't see you at all." Now she swam and swam and swam and swam, she came to the further rim. The old man got along and suddenly pushed her further in. Now eggs or rings and bones might make your husband blind, but if you want to know him, you must keep up close behind.
I know why we didn't wear the sweaters like bloody thing. You know why we kept so slim back in the 60s? Here's a song from that time. Probably one of my favourite songs that we used to sing back in those days. It's a song called The Shoulders of Kelly. I'd like to preface it with a poem. It's about the old fisherman, of course. I'd like to preface it with a poem called The Old Fisherman, written by the poet Yeats. He used to sit on the docks in Sligo, where he grew up as a boy, watching the old men. You wave as though you dance at my feet, like children at play. Will you slip and you slide, will you purr and you dart? In the dunes that were warmer than these are, the waves were more gay. When I was a boy, with never a crack in my heart. The herring are not in the tide as they were of old, my soul. For many's the creek gave the creel of the cart that carried the tape to Sligo town to be sold. When I was a boy, never a crack in my heart. with ornaments and gear we're fain. On the wild and wasteful ocean, it's all there on the deep that we harvest and reap our bread. As we hunt the mighty shores of it was on there and a pleasant day, out in the Yarmouth harbor I was faring, as a cabin boy on a sailor rocket, for to hunt the mighty shoals of Erin. Oh, we left the home grounds in the month of June, and for canny shields we soon were bearing. We in the 100 clad on the silver dolls that we'd taken from the shoals of Erin. Now though it was hard and the hours were long, and the drink went surely took some bearing, and the youths were sweet, standing on repeat, and I dreamed about the shoals of Erin. Now you're the hunted, you're the fisherman, and you learn it all on seafaring. That's your education, scraps of navigation, as you hunt the mighty shoals of Erin. In the stormy seas and the living gales, riding up the near I was wearing, sailed 10,000 miles and 10 million fishes, as we hunted for the shoals of Erin. And it's night and day we're faring. Come winter wave or winter gale, sweating or cold, growing old or tired. As we hunt the mighty shoals of Erin.
When I was a little boy, so my mother told me,
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
that if I did not kiss the girls, my lips would all grow moldy.
Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
No,
Way haul away, the good ship now is rolling. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe.
King Louis was the king of France before the revolution.
Way haul
how the waves of it roll, or they heave between me and the love of my soul, abandoned, forsaken, to grief and to care. Will the sea never wake, relief and despair?
Love and all the dream in your hand. My love, he's come home to this beautiful land. And he comes to the door with his eyes like the sun. And his kit bag all full of the treasures he's won. And the shell of a cloud draws him away. My kitchen is full of the smell of the sea, and all the fine things my love brings to me. Gather your treasures, my gardens in bloom, and bring them along to our sweet little room, with the sun in the morning ablaze on your chair. My love, he's come home from the north by northwest. And here in our bed we lie and we sleep. We lie and we listen to the sounds of the deep. And as warm as the summer we sleep winter long. My love, he's come home like King Solomon's son. Oh, love and all the dream in your hand. My love, he's come home to this beautiful land. And he comes to the door with his eyes like the sun, and he's kit bag all the treasures he's won.
Songs about work, love, sea songs. Some of the great songs from the Irish folk songs or the rebel songs. We like this one a lot, about the rising in Wexford. The signal for the beginning of the uprising was the rising of the moon. Oh, come tell me, Sean, tell me why you hurry so. She looked at Christian listen, and his cheeks were all aglow. I have orders from the captain, make go ready quick and slow. For the pigs must be together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon.
in Belfast, the bombs, the shooting, etc., the children on the streets of Belfast are still singing, I'll tell my mom when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone.
About songs earlier about the songs about old people or old couples. Of course, if you listen to radio nowadays, especially that radio 2 or that stuff, rock, I swear that nobody over 14 ever fell in love. You listen to that? Rubbish stuff. I knew you had a cold here, but I didn't know the song was so good. This is a song about an old couple. Actually, it's about one day of their lives, from early morning to late at night. They live in a little flat in Amsterdam, Holland. The old man's maybe he's shell-shocked. The song doesn't say. It just says that he's a bit wonky in the head. But his wife, Margaret, is one of my favourite characters of all the characters we sing about. She takes great care of the old boy. She follows him in the day to make sure he doesn't trip in the wet cobbled streets of Amsterdam. She remembers what it was like back before the war when they were young and courting, still had high hopes of a big family. That wasn't happening. I think what I like best about her is that in the cold of the night she always puts a little whiskey in his tea to warm him up and cheer him up. To me, that's a love song. The chorus, if you want to sing it nice and soft, you can't sing this one rowdy. Straight out of one of the old man's crazy reveries. He gets frightened sometimes. He wants to go back to Rotterdam with you. He says, let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man. And dear Margaret remembers that for me. It's called The Dutchman. The Dutchman is not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the damn holes his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam was golden, in the morning Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snows. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes she sees for unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Sea. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes, his cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sold him. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trouble him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone, calls for them. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Sea. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Swirl the winter in, she winds his muffler tighter. They sit in the kitchen. The tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes his bed up, humming some old love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. Hums a light, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep, Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go through the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Sea. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Sing once more. Let us go through the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Sea. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me.
You all know what an orange man is, do you? There's a fellow up in Belfast called Sammy Ferguson, is about the best way to describe him. And he was an orange man. He's what they call a true blue orange man. And a true blue orange man is the kind of a fellow who loves the Queen of England and hates the Pope. That's about the best way to describe him. And when he died, he went up to the Golden Gates, kicked up a row because he couldn't get in. St. Peter had to be called out and said, well, what did you ever do that? We should leave you into heaven. In other words, why the hell should we leave you into heaven? What he was really saying. He says, because I am the bravest man that ever lived. And God said, Peter said, that's some boast to me, he said. What did you ever do now to make you the bravest man that ever lived? I walked down the Catholic Falls Road in Belfast, waving the Union Jack flag. My God, St. Peter said, that was a brave thing to do. When did you do that, he says? About 4 minutes. The whole statues lately, weren't they? You know where to talk. We were down in Dungarvan yesterday and we saw this grotto that
no statue. The grotto had been built, but the statue hadn't yet been there. Some smart fella came along and left a note saying, back in half an hour. The other story is about William Bloke, who also lived on the Shankill Road in Belfast. He was the kind of man that had his own problems because he got married and didn't get along too well with his wife. In a mean abode on the Shankill Road lived a man named William Bloke. He had a wife, the bane of his life, who always got his goat. So when day had dawned with the night dress on, he slit her bloody throat. He was glad he had done there what he had, and she lay there stiff and still, till suddenly the thought of the angry law filled his soul with an awful chill. So to finish the fun he so well begun, he decided himself to kill. So he took the sheets from his wife's cold feet and he twisted them into her robe. He hung himself from the pantry shelf. 'Twas an easy, endless hope. With his dying breath and he facing death, he solemnly cursed the Pope. But the strangest turn of the whole concern is only just beginning. For he went to hell, but his wife got well, and she's still alive and still. For the razor blade was English made, but the sheets were Irish lead.
Neighbour in Dublin at the turn of the century by the name of Tim Finnegan, who I'm sure you all know. He was very fond of the Ishkabaha, the water of life. And one Monday morning, after a particularly joyous weekend, he still had to climb the ladder with a hod full of bricks. He took a little drop to give him courage to climb the ladder. He got a dizzy spell at the top, fell, broke his skull, dead as a doornail. They say it was the drop that killed him. They took him home and they had a real old-fashioned wake for him, you know, the kind we used to know with tea and sandwiches and whiskey and fighting and everything. And it was James Joyce, the Irish author, was fascinated with the idea of having the water of life at a wake. And he wrote a very long, complicated book based on the ballad of Tim Finnegan's wake. We're going to sing through the ballad, but first, by way of introduction, my brother Thomas will now recite for you the entire novel by James Joyce.
Thank you, Pat. River run past Eve and Adams, from Swirl of Shoal to Bend of Bay, takes us by a commodious vitus of recirculation back to Hope Castle and environs. Well, that's the first paragraph of the first chapter, and there are 638 more pages. Stop it. Big Mr. Finnegan of the Struckland Hand, Freeman's lived in the broadest way imaginable in his rushlet too far back from Mr. Hodges, before Joshua and Judges had given us numbers or Leviticus had committed Deuteronomy. Do you dig that much so far? Well, during mighty odd years, this man of hod, cement, and edifices in Tokerspaw piled bildong, super bildong on the banks of the rivers for the sowing service. A woolworth of a skyscraper of most Eiffel height, entirely originating from next to nothing, with a burning bush above of its bottle top, and with lands of tools a sticking up and hammers of buckets trapping down. Now the first was he to bear arms and a name, Wassily, Boozily, of Brazilabon. Oh, Mr. Finn, you're going to be fined again. Ha, Mr. Fun, you're going to be Mr. Finn again. But dim, he started from the ladder. Down he was dove. Tim, many a little water, sweet and light, and way on the arrow, so rich and sweet and light, and the one thing kind of hot is he is off to the different way, with the light for the light of 14 and 5, down the mark with his mortgage rate, and the run away, or run him on, right for the loud, that's the amount, and run below your powder, one in the truck, that's all the lots of fun, and millions wait.
One morning Tim felt rather full. His head felt heavy, which made him shake. He fell from the ladder, and he broke his skull, and they carried him home as corpse awake. They rolled him up in a nice clean sheet, and they laid him out upon the bed, with a bucket of whiskey at his feet, and a bottle of golden rye.
Miss Friends and back away, and Mrs. Finnegan bought her lunch, for she served them potato cakes, then pipes, tobacco, whiskey, punch. Billy O'Brien began to cry, what a nice big cock you ever seen. Tim O'Morning, why did it die, and a hundred nuts and Billy, oh, why for the house, you matter, why the water, what a name, the fight, oh, the lights of fun, and Finnegan's way.
Maggie O'Connor took up the job. Oh, Billy says she are wrong, I'm sure. Billy gave her a boot to the gob and she left her sprawling on the floor.
Then the Lord is soon again, was woman to woman and man to man. Till the day love was all the rage, and the row of the Russians soon began. Oh, for the land of you matter, right the Lord, you matter. What a name, the right road, and lots of fun, and William's way.
Then McGill only raised his head, and the bucket of whiskey flew at him. It missed and fallen on the bed. The liquor scattered over Tim. He got to your boy, see how he rises. Timothy rising on the bed. Said, hurl your whiskey around like blazes. How many chases do you think I'm dead? You You're all one. Then going down the road before me, a red-haired girl I can't despise. I went up to her, said, I am lady, my donkey he will carry too. Well, seeing as how you have a donkey, to the dingle where I ride with you. Now when we reached the town of Dingle, I took her hand to say goodbye. When a tinker man stepped up beside me, and he belted me in my left eye. Keep your hands up, red-haired Mary, her and I will soon be in. We'll see the priestess very morning tonight. We'll lie in the married bed. Now I was feeling kind of peevish, and before I was sad and sore, when I gently tapped him with me hobnails, and he blew back from Murphy's door. Keep your hands up, red-haired Mary, her and I will soon be wed. We'll see the priestess very morning tonight. We'll lie in the married bed. A policeman came around the corner, and he told me I had broke the law. When the donkey kicked him in the kneecap, and he fell down and broke his jaw. Keep your hands up, red-haired Mary, her and I will soon be wed. We'll see the priestess very morning tonight. We'll lie in the married bed. Then he went off to find his brother, the biggest man you ever did meet. And he tapped me gently with his knuckles, and I was minus 2 front teeth. And keep your hands up, red-haired Mary, her and I will soon be wed. We'll see the priestess very morning tonight. We'll lie in a married bed. Well, the red-haired girl, she kept on smiling. I will go with you, young man, she said. We'll forget the priestess very morning, and tonight we'll lie in Murphy's shed. Keep your hands up, red-haired Mary, her and I will soon be wed. We'll forget the priestess very morning tonight. We'll lie in Murphy's shed. Now through the fair we rode together, my black eye and her red hair, smiling gaily at the tinkers, and may God we were a handsome pair. Keep your hands up, red-haired Mary, her and I will soon be wed. We'll forget the priestess very morning, and tonight we'll lie in Murphy's shed.
It's a song that's a real old favourite of ours. We've sung it all over the world for the last 150 years. And it's one of those songs that when you're singing it, if you remember Carrick, somehow you sing it better. You have to go away from Carrick to realise that Carrick's a nice kind of a place, you know? Far from home. And most of the people from Carrick. But it's a song that starts out very quietly and very poetically and rapidly deteriorates. And we'd like you to join us in a jug of punch. One pleasant evening in the month of June, as I was sitting with my glass and spoon, a small bird sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was the jug of punch. A small bird sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was the jug of punch. What more diversion can a man desire than to sit down by a stump of fire, upon his knee on a pretty wench, and on the table a jug of punch. Do-a-do-a-do,
money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I can get any day. And it's no, they never, no, they never know. Will I play the Land Rover? No, never, no. And out of me pocket I took sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said I have whiskey and wines of the best, and the words that I said sure were only in jest. And it's no, they never, no, they never know. Will I play the Land Rover? No, never, no. I'll go home to my parents and confess what I've done. I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they'll arrest me as oft as we more, then I never will blame the Wild Rover no more. And if you're wrong, it's more like you mean it. And it's no, they never, no, they never know. Will I play the Wild Rover? No, never, no. Very well, my lovely darling, I'll come and find you. Never go away from the holy ground and the mercy of you. We would sing the songs we know, and we will come for sure to see again that Clancy love and the holy ground. Like you I know, and still I live close to see the holy ground. The star is raging, and we are far from shore. And the road of ship is tossing about, and the rain is all o'er. And the secrets of my mind, my love, live like you I know, and still I live close to see the holy ground. Like you I know, and still I live close to see the holy ground. Wherever you are now, the storm is over, and we are safe and well. We will go into a holy ground and we'll sit and we will learn and do. We will race on air and know, and we'll make the rockers roll. And when our money is all spent, we'll go to sea once more. When Gary and together like you I know, and still I live close to see the holy At last, it's September, but this song is more appropriate now than it was at any other time during the summer. It says the summertime is coming with the trees, sweetly blooming. A little late, but never the wild mountain thyme grows around the bloom heather. It go, lassie, will you go? I will, she said. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme flows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love near yon pure crystal fountain, and on it I will hide all the flowers on the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie? Let's go down the clock and start from the beginning again. The summertime is coming. Oh, the summertime is coming. The trees are sweetly blooming, and the trees are sweetly blooming. The wild mountain thyme and the wild mountain grows round the moon heaven, grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
I know that Peter Malloy already did thank everybody for your fantastic support in a very worldly cause, and we all may need to use it one day. This day, and the day is getting nearer and nearer. But I'd like to thank you all for your support of this Lions Club effort, and we leave you with our traditional parting song, the Parting Glass.
Our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I foretold you. We're all spirits, and are melted into air today. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped palaces, the gorgeous towers, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which they inherit shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant fadeth, leave not a rack behind, where such stuff as dreams are made of. And our little life is rounded with a sleep. What I'm asking you in Shakespeare's words is, have you no homes to go to? Oh, all the money that I spent, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that I've done, alas, it was to none.
But look,